Buonasera a tutti. My name is Marila, and welcome to Joanne Trattoria. Tonight we have a special guest, Rossella Rago, with Cooking with Nonna, and our wonderful grandmother, Nonna Angelica, and they're going to start the event off with our appetizer.
Hi everybody, my name is Rossella. For those of you who don't know, I host a show called Cooking with Nonna, where I cook with a different Nonna from a different region of Italy in every episode. Tonight I've brought straight from Sicily and sort of from Venezuela, I've brought Nonna Angelica with us tonight. So she's going to be preparing some typical Sicilian food. Who's Sicilian here tonight? Yeah, we got a lot of Sicilians here tonight. Sicilian food is very, very big in the Italian-American population, especially in New York. So it's really, really important to the Germanotta family to show you guys something that was traditional, that was delicious, and that was really easy to make, actually. We're going to start off with, why don't you tell them what we're going to make?
Arancini. We're going to make arancini.
We're going to make Arancini Siciliani. Who's heard of arancini before? Me. And what else do we call them? They're rice balls. I'm from Brooklyn. They're rice balls. All right? So arancini, we call them arancini because when we fry them up, they look like beautiful oranges. They look golden orange color. So we're going to start making our arancini, and we're going to start with the filling for our arancini. So what do you know about arancini? What do you want to tell them about arancini?
You know, it's fun to make over the years with grandma, mother, grandchildren. You know, it's a lot of fun just making the balls and eat them.
It's a lot of work. Well, it's a lot of work if you don't prep, but if you do prep the way we have, then it's easy and you know, you don't have to kill yourself. So we're going to start with our arancini filling. You can fill arancini with almost anything you want. They're actually a wonderful blank canvas for people. And they're really nice to make ahead of time, and you have a nice little meal. If you have children, they're great because it's kind of everything in one. It's protein, it's starch, it's delicious because it's fried. You know, you could bake them, but that's not fun. So we're going to do the fun one tonight. And tonight we're going to do a typical ragu filling. And who knows what a ragu is? I know PJ knows what a ragu is. What's a ragu? It's on your phone over here. A ragu is a meat sauce. Usually meat with carrots, peas, and onions. We're going to do some chopped meat, some tomato, some onions, some peas, and some provolone and mozzarella. All right, to make it extra delicious. So we're gonna turn this on right here. This is not a Nonna appliance, so bear with me. You know, it's hardly a fire with the pot on top of it. So 1300 is too high to make arancini. 300. Okay. Let's 270. All right, 270 is good. Does that noise bother anybody? No? Okay. So what are we going to do
With
first?
the olive oil.
We got to do some olive oil in here.
Okay, then you put the chopped meat.
We have some chopped meat. You can use any meat you want, right? You don't have to use beef.
You can mix chopped meat with veal, pork, and beef together. Gives it a nice flavor.
And you just want to brown this at first. Yeah, go ahead. Oops. Do you remember the first time you made arancini?
I was a little girl with my grandmother, but I was just looking. It was fun. Then I started making it with my mother, and it was more fun because I had to make them.
And now you make them with your grandchildren every
I
year,
make
right?
them, yes. But then I have the pleasure to not to make them anymore that much, only for fun with my grandchildren, because we have a store that makes it for us, which is Tuscany.
See, in Italy, arancini are found as street food. They're a typical Sicilian street food. You can go to any rosticceria in Palermo and buy an arancino. And just eat it with your hands, right out of some wax paper.
Tissue paper.
Yeah, and
Just grab
some
it,
people even
warm
eat it
up.
for breakfast.
Yes, even for breakfast they eat it. Up in Palermo.
Yeah? Like when you have a hangover, you grab an arancino, you know, it's nonna's cure for a hangover, right? Who can think of anything better? But here, arancini are typically made for special occasions because they are a little bit more work than usual for people. So you want to save them for special occasions like Christmas Day. It's very
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, when you have a big party. They're kind of a celebratory thing, arancini. And that I love that that's become that in America, where, you know, in Italy, there's something that, you know, you have so much of it, you can do it all the time, you can go to a rosticceria and buy an arancino. But here, since you can't really do that, there aren't that many places that sell them, or the way that your nonna made them, you make them once a year, and you make them as a family. It's a celebratory
Right.
thing.
It's a fun.
Okay, so we got
When
our
you do
ground meat.
this, you take all the oil, it dries up, then you add the peas. Should I put them now?
So we're gonna add our peas.
We're gonna add the peas.
Now, usually when you do this at home, you want to make sure you remove
Oh, the oil that comes
and the
out.
fat, because moisture is not your friend when you're making arancini. Your rice has to be dry. Your filling should be dry, so it's nice and stiff when you make the ball.
Okay. After this, then you put the sauce.
We have some tomato puree. Nice. And that's smelling really, really nice.
Smells good already, right? You smell it?
Yeah.
Wait until you taste them. That's going to be more fun.
Now, in West Sicily, an arancino is very round, and in the East, they actually make them by Catania. They make them like a cone shape.
Yeah.
So, you know, which one's better? Which one do you think?
The original one, the round one.
The round
one.
Because you're from Palermo, right?
No,
No.
Mazzara del Vallo.
No. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We make them all
Usually-
over Sicily.
In Italy, usually wherever you're from, that's the best. That's where the best food comes from. You know, because in my town, the people from 10 miles away, it's like, oh, those idiots. Their bell tower is 10 feet shorter. They don't know anything. So usually in Sicily, the people from Palermo say, no, the cone ones, they're not good for you. They're going to ruin your stomach. And the people from Catania say, the round ones, please. What are you going to eat? Round? So now, this looks done, except you don't want to fill your arancini with hot filling. You have to cool it off first. So luckily we have some filling that is already, just place it right there. We have some filling that is already cooled for us. We added the cheese in when it's cold, of course. And now we get to move on to the tricky part. This is where technique comes into play. This is where all her skill is going to be utilized, because how long have you been making arancini now? You don't have to say how old you are.
Oh, okay. It's about 20 years.
20 years. Okay. 20 years, me like a month and a half when I was preparing for this. So let's see how this works out. This rice is the most important component to your arancini. What does this look like to you? Scrambled eggs? Okay, because there's saffron in it. But the texture is kind of that of risotto. Okay? And it's cooked almost exactly the way you cook risotto. I don't want to tell you to just boil some minute rice and then you can use that to make arancini, because absolutely not. You have to start with a very little amount of water and constantly add water so it absorbs the water for you, and it makes this very thick consistency. And usually people add all different kinds of stuff. Some people cook it with bouillon cubes to add more flavor. This is just a little bit of saffron and butter and cheese. So it's probably delicious, but if you do have cold risotto that isn't so great the next day, that isn't so delicious eaten by itself, you can absolutely use that to make arancini, because that is a perfect texture and consistency to do that. So
We both do it.
you can use arborio, you can use the Carolina rice.
Yeah. And not Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben is no good.
She likes no Uncle
No,
Ben.
it's not good
No,
because
Uncle
it doesn't stick together. I love it, but it doesn't stick together. So first you do a ball.
So you're gonna make a ball the same way you would make a meatball. You're gonna roll this.
Then you make it look a little hole.
You can make them as big as you want. The bigger ones are honestly gonna be easier to make because it's hard to get the filling in there. And from what I've been learning, this next part is where your technique comes into play, because there are two ways to do it at this point. Once you put your filling in there, there are some people, I'm gonna give you a little bit of filling.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
And
This one, you start going.
you start turning it in your hand
Turn it
and
in your
closing
hand,
and
closes
closing it
like
from
a
the
little
top.
ball.
Now, if you make a mistake, like,
It's okay.
it's okay. There are no mistakes in Sicily. No mistakes.
No mistake. No.
Because the
You just
Sicilians,
patch
you patch it, and the Sicilians have such a wonderful term for fixing a mistake when it comes to arancini. We call
We
it
call arrepezzare.
arapezzare, okay? So don't worry, no
Don't
one's gonna
worry.
die for the arancini.
Patch. If it's like a little hole, you just get this and you patch it.
You take it,
So it's arrepezzare.
let me check to see if our oil is hot. Yeah, our oil is hot. Okay, just checking. So now, all you're gonna do is you're gonna roll it in the egg, but you kind of always want to keep the arancino in motion, because you don't want it to get too heavy in your hand and then it starts to like kind of, get a little musciata, I don't know what else to say. Everybody knows what that means, right? Yeah. So we're gonna just roll it in the egg wash. And then you can roll it in the breadcrumbs if you wish, but it's easier to keep it in your hand and just sprinkle and keep it moving in your hand as you go.
Egg wash is what? The egg mixed with milk?
With nothing.
Nothing, just the egg.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and now I'm gonna wait for her. You wanna place it gently. And these are gonna fry beautifully to a golden brown orangey color. And they should start coming around with your arancini. I know that you guys probably can't wait. No, I can't. I'm gonna make 60 arancini right here. You wanna eat these? You can have these ones. How about that? You want them? Okay.
I'm sure they're delicious.
Yeah. So they should start coming out with those. And then we are garnishing our arancini tonight with some beautiful Sicilian cherry tomato topping from Accademia Barilla. They've given us our olive oil, very good Sicilian olive oil, and some wonderful products that you'll be taking home with you tonight. So we want to give you a little thank you to them early on.
Should we make more?
Yeah, let's keep making them. I know. So we're going to keep making them. And now we're going to have someone come around and tell you what you're going to be, a little bit about what you're going to be drinking this evening, because we have some wonderful Sicilian wines for you tonight.
And everyone, welcome Annie Shapiro. She's going to teach us a little bit about the Sicilian wines we're going to be drinking and how it pairs with what you're eating tonight. So please give her a round of applause.
Hi, I'm Annie Shapiro. I'm
I'm an Italian trained sommelier. I lived over there for 8 years, so I know the ins and outs of Italian wine. I have a company called Divino, and I work for an importer, Omni Wines, who's very kindly provided 2 different red wines tonight for your enjoyment. Once the arancinis start to arrive, the first thing, go ahead. The first wine that you will have is a frappato. And this is a very, very lightweight, it's a very fresh, fruit-forward, it's even a little bit chilled red wine. You'll taste a lot of red cherries. This originates in the area around the town of Vittoria. It's also part of the Cerespuolo di Vittoria DOCG, which is blended with Nero d'Avola. But like so many hot climate and island parts of Italy, they will have red wines with all kinds of cuisine. These red wines have sort of grown up with the cuisine, so they're not heavy, they're not overbearing. You can have them with fish, you can have them with something like this, and it's sort of quite delicate red fruit. So coming soon is some frappato to a glass you enjoy. If you have any questions, I'll be here.
So how did you and Arancini come to know about her?
I was kind of concerned that I got my